True faith is not blind, but a conscious choice to believe in the unseen. The journey of faith begins with a single step of trust in God. Prayer is the lifeline that connects us to the heart of God. God's love is not based on our performance, but on His grace. When we let go and surrender to God's will, we find true freedom. Faith without action is like a bird without wings. It cannot soar. The true measure of our faith is seen in how we treat others. God's plans for us are always greater than we could ever imagine. Hope is the light that shines in the darkest moments of our lives. God's peace surpasses all understanding and calms the storms within us. In times of doubt, remember that God is faithful and His promises never fail. Faith is not the absence of fear, but the courage to trust God in spite of it. Forgiveness is not just an act of mercy, but a pathway to healing and freedom. God's grace is the bridge that connects our brokenness to His wholeness. When we seek God's kingdom above all else, everything else falls into place. In the face of adversity, remember that God's power is made perfect in our weakness. Faith is not about having all the answers, but trusting the one who does. God's love is not limited by our past mistakes, but offers us a fresh start every day. In the silence of prayer, we hear the whispers of God's voice guiding us. True strength is found in surrendering our will to God's divine plan. God's love is like an ocean vast, deep, and overflowing with grace. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own. The path of righteousness may be narrow, but it leads to everlasting joy. God's love is the greatest force in the universe, capable of transforming lives. In the midst of pain, God offers us His comfort and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Humility is not thinking less of ourselves, but thinking of ourselves less and of God more. God's love knows no boundaries and extends to all people, regardless of their past. God's love is not earned, but freely given, a gift we can never repay. Faith is not a destination, but a lifelong journey of seeking God's presence. God's love is the foundation on which we build our lives and relationships. God's Word is a lamp to guide our steps and a source of wisdom for every situation. Faith is not about having all the answers, but trusting the one who does. God's love is not limited by our flaws, but embraces us in our brokenness. In times of uncertainty, trust in God's sovereignty and His good plans for your life. When we seek God with all our heart, we find Him and experience His presence. God's love empowers us to love others unconditionally, even when it's difficult. In the face of challenges, remember that God is with you, guiding and strengthening you. Faith is not a one-time decision, but a daily commitment to trust and follow God. God's love is like a flame that can ignite and transform even the darkest hearts. The greatest act of faith is to believe in God's goodness, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. God's love is the foundation of our identity and worth, not the opinions of others. Through prayer, we enter into a divine conversation with the Creator of the universe. When we surrender control and trust in God's plan, we experience true peace. God's love is not based on our performance, but on His unchanging character. In the midst of trials, hold on to the hope that God is working all things for your good. God's love is a constant flame that never fades, even in the darkest nights of our souls. When we place our trust in God, He transforms our fears into faith and our doubts into hope.